Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. So, we are live in patch 1.9.6 now. We've been in 1.5 for a while. So let's see how it goes. We're working on compulsory primary school. We're surveying a skyscraper. We're building a huge automotive industry. Just Victoria things. Cash flow's looking pretty good. And there's the end of the skyscraper survey. Skyscraper site identified. Our architects and engineers have identified Rome and Lazio as the optimal site to begin construction of a skyscraper. Gentlemen, we are going to erect the tallest building in the world. The foundation alone will need hundreds of men. More if they will not work 12-hour shifts. Every day we will need to transport thousands of bags of cement into the heart of a metropolis. We must secure an immense quantity of steel that must, like Atlas, hold the weight of a whole world. The task ahead of us is monumental. Lay the foundations. Lay the foundations. Alright. Yeah. What's with this railway? Why are you not producing? Probably because of all the cars, I bet. Curious. Well, anyway, I'm not going to worry about it too much. I suppose I could also build power block statues. Ooh, extra infrastructure from population is really good. Yeah, I got enough construction capacity to build power block statues. Let's do it. Let's do it. Power block statues for everyone. I'm going to do this on a state, but actually, I wonder if they did an update. If there's no update, power block statues create a really ugly noise. Let's see if they patched that. Yeah, okay, they still do it. Well, if you're sensitive, close your ears. Got it. All right. Anyway, now those will get built. Railway still thinks it's funny. We still got this indicator here. Not sure what that's about, but it is what it is. We'll deal with it. Airship mooring post gives a little extra prestige. I don't have access to that. That's not going to be available until we hit ton in production? Maybe it's in society. Yeah, until we hit Zeppelins. Increased market access price impact? That doesn't seem good. Maybe it is good and I'm just not understanding. Anyway, that's good. That's good tech spread. We got unspent innovation in here. I wonder if we have psychoanalysis spreading. Oh, it's analytic philosophy that gets us the last level. Okay, I'm not going to rush that. Too many tier 4s in society we haven't dealt with. Insufficient construction for investment pool. That's a nice sound to be hearing. I'm going to leave it for a second. Electricity shortage in Piedmont. By how much? By a lot. Oh, man. And power plants are running maxed? Golly. That is impressive, sir. How many power plants do I need over here? Let me see. I need about 1,500. That's about 50 per level. Yeah, I need 30 more levels of power plants. Gosh, dang. I'm gonna try to get away with only 20. No, I'm gonna build 30. They'll be downsized if they're not productive. Transit shortage in Istria. Oop. Not sure how that happened. Local prices. Where are we? And here we go. Wow, we need more railways. How much do these? It looks like 60 per level. So. Oop.
That wasn't the button I wanted.
Plus, we're getting a little bit more from the urban center. So realistically, we build up to. We're getting 44 from the urban center. So realistically, we build up to. Yeah, I mean it's just going to be about 420. If we build 5 levels, we'll build 4. A transport shortage is a little bit more urgent than a power shortage, But this skyscraper is going to take forever. So we'll build that first. Let's just queue a few power plants just to get us like past the shortage, and then we'll fill up the additional needed. So we're gonna slow down the increase to the size of the automotive industry for now, but I'm just gonna get some necessary needed construction in earlier. Come on, give me compulsory primary school. Pen and paper stall event. Gosh dang it. The enactment of compulsory primary school has come to a halt due to some public protests. Many are the families that lack the purchasing power to meet the expenses that buying the new school supplies imply, thus preventing their children from scholarization. Listen, no parent would try to stop their child from getting a better future than the one they'll be getting here, but if I need to make a decision and that decision is between buying bread and buying some pen and ink, I'd say that ain't no fair decision. Wealth cannot be a prohibiting factor, produce bureaucracy. Ouch. Or we can't devote even more public funds, increased enactment time, reduced enactment success chance. I'm gonna do the first one. I'm gonna lose that bureaucracy. But it is what it is. Don't have unrealized taxes anywhere. Let's build up Rome a little bit. Get us a little bit of extra bureaucratic capacity. We're getting like 100 per level, so we really only need 5 levels. And that should cover us. So I will throw those in at the top should I use the other button. But it is what it is. Power block statues are never urgent, but they take forever, so, you know, you wanna build them. You only want to be building them when you don't need to be building something else. So this is going to give us a little bit of extra bureaucracy, and that's going to get rid of that 14k in unrealized taxes, or at least part of that 14k. 14k seems high for the shortage we've got here. It's only a 2% deficit. I guess we're going to find out. Alright, there we go. Nice. Back in the black. So, there's a thing going on with us. Andres Spano, a nihilist associated with the labor movement. Interesting. Alright, you get him, Issa. You can do it. I believe in you. So, do a little bit more market maintenance here. We are making a lot of movies. That's pretty cool. Am I still subvening film exports? I sure am. Nice. Maybe I'll build up some arts academies, but this isn't actually that much. I think we're building like 4 units of art per arts academy. I'm filtered to development. Give me urban. Urban, but at the bottom. Yeah. Still, these are not that profitable. I'm not really sure how to reckon with that. We're very slowly creating profitable arts academies, but again, we're mostly... Do I need to change up the patronage method? No, it doesn't seem like that'll be better. Quite curious. Quite curious. Not sure what to make of that. Never one of them. Some members of the petite bourgeoisie have raised concerns about the enactment of compulsory primary schools, since they believe it would affect employment and promote agitation among the lower classes. Everyone has their own place, right? I think we can all agree on that. If we teach these kids the same thing we're teaching our own children, who's stopping them from wanting the same jobs? Then who'd be doing what they ought to do? Educating for the sake of educating is nonsense, an idyllic utopia that would lead only to misery, empty factories, and lazy workers. Everyone deserves a chance, extra enactment chance, petite bourgeoisie salty, but trade unions happy. Or they should consider it an act of charity, a 75% chance of no effect, 25% chance of 20% increased enactment chance. I've gotten lucky before. I'm going to go with the sure thing this time. A salty petite bourgeoisie is a sacrifice I am willing to make. Now, let me take a quick look at shipyards. I've still got a small number of shipyards producing wooden ships, but I don't think that's the right call. We should be mostly building steamships. What is the price of clippers in our customs union? It's as low as it could be. So yeah, we need to get most of these places. I'm gonna categorically move them over to producing steamers. My subject states can produce wooden-hulled ships if they need them. Yeah, still dirt cheap. Well, let's wait for a week to take over. Yeah, they're still dirt cheap. Alright, so that's fine. That's completely fine. Military shipyards, what's the price of man-o-wars in our block? It's being buoyed entirely by exports. So we'll move these over to producing ironclads as well. Alright, automotive industries are nearly finished with their expansion. Let's just quickly take a look at the market. And they are still selling like hotcakes. Do a promotion. The rural folk demand the promotion of Brigadier General Corradino Romano, touting his history, loyal, and effective service. So many medals adorned his jacket that one could scarcely see the fabric beneath. But it was not yet enough. Chest puffed out with pride, the general smiled as he imagined the look on Nicolini's face when the field marshal learned of his imminent ascension. Their rivalry was legendary among the officers. At last, he would have his due. He's an ethno-nationalist. I'll say he's earned it. Don't want to deal with an unhappy rural folk at this time. We got those power block statues. Oop, we got one little level of automotive industry didn't get started yet, but that's alright. One of these days we'll have some success passing compulsory primary schools. We've had a couple of 40% checks with various non-success events. We're currently at 50%. So here's hoping we get a proper yay on that finally. Now, what else? Again, ammunition. We are import tariffing. I don't rightly know how to keep my my munitions plants profitable. Guess I'll build up a couple more. Interesting. We are not exporting meat, which is curious. Crooked connections. Frustrated with the lengthy legal process surrounding compulsory primary school, Amedio Betsy of the trade unions has approached us with an offer to expedite the process, utilizing his personal connections within the state apparatus. A few words in the right ears is all I'm asking for. Everything within the bounds of the law, although, of course, I cannot guarantee that our opponents in this matter will view such actions with much glee. Granting permission, time is of the essence, salty industrialists, but reduce enactment time. Or no, we do this by the book or not at all. Increase enactment time. I'm going to do the second one. 10% is not that long. We're a little low in bureaucracy still. Let's build up a bit more bureaucracy in... I did it. I used the hotkey. Just like a real gamer. Getting a very respectable standard of living. And again, I think a lot of that is due to the automotive industry bringing just huge piles of cash into the country. Absolutely enormous. And the consumption taxes arising from that. I'm sort of indirectly funding myself by building up these car industries. We've kind of reached the point. Can I see anywhere what percentage of the industry in the country a company owns? Montero still owns the largest of any of my companies, 415 building levels. Lazio Home Goods owns 225. United Construction Conglomerate 100, and Fiat 125. Canada, my friend, you would like me to trade you my tea and my fish and trade privileges in exchange for allowing me to build in you. Do I need your fish? Not really. Do I need your tea? Can't imagine I would. And you want trade privileges. Let's negotiate. Oh, you want my fish. My fish and my tea. Interesting. Interesting. What if I threw a defensive pact in there? Okay. Mid. Alright. You want goods transfer, fish, 573. That's what this field is for. Nope, not that. There we go. 50% chance you'll say yes. With these, is there an amount of fish that you want more? No. 573 is the amount of fish that you want the most. 577, that's fine. Ask for obligation? No. Oh, obligation? Yes. Alright. 50% chance. Can I sweeten the deal a little bit? Surely you want more tea than this. I've got so much tea. Yes, yes, ha ha ha, yes. I shall provide so much tea. I shall provide so much tea that you cannot but love me. This is very silly. I'm delighted with this. What a mechanic. Do they just want oops all tea? Hold on. I could get so much from this. This is bananas. How much tea do you want, my brother in Christ? So much. Alright, hold on. Alright. Not that much. But they want quite a bit. Alright. So a nice even 500. We'll do that. We'll scrap the fish. And now you'll give me trade privileges and maybe a power block embassy? 55% chance. Alright, let's get the fish back in here. Okay, now I'm understanding. Now I'm understanding. 573 was the amount. Or thereabouts. $544 is fine. Right. 7 is the maximum opinion we can get. 544. Well, that's still only 55% chance. Interesting. What if instead of trade privileges... 24%, that's 85%. I cut the fish, that's equal. Alright, let's do this. Let's do this. Trade privileges and tea for a power block embassy and an investment rights. 85% chance. Let's see if they say yes. Excellent. By the way, I haven't forgotten about South Africa. How close am I to getting them in our power block? Probably pretty close at this point, right? Ooh, I can. Hello, sir. Please join. Wonderful. You're in the big leagues now. The big trade leagues. Cool. Hold on. Let me make sure that that doesn't create a problem. Do you, moderate rainfall. Oh boy. Okay, so where's my, where's South Africa? That's, okay, and that's trending properly. So that's good. That's very good. Excellent. Now, what about Canada? Canada, my friend. My close friend. My close friend. 301. Okay, you gotta mouse over the little icon. That's what happened. Alright, so, I'm going to increase, but not by that much. Alright, alright. But perhaps eventually. Feeling very happy about this. We are above... 69, nice. We are above Britain. Not that far above Britain, but we are above them. I think we might be outpacing them militarily. Maybe. Maybe. What's my actual battalion count? 405. All right. Ooh, we got a success in compulsory primary school. That's excellent. Excellent, well, and wonderful. I'm delighted. Wonderful. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Hey, anyone else I can reduce the autonomy of? You might be asking yourself why I'm not... Wow, the investment pool has really got so very much cash in it. Maybe I will build up the construction sector. Anywhere with less than 4 levels. South Tyrol, yes. Umbria, should be using the Alt key. Alright, and then let's build... Let me see, our Maxima, our Lazio, we need a couple more, because that's the capital. Piedmont, a couple more, because that's the old capital. And then, Campania will build up to 4. And then, let's build Sardinia up to 10. And this is a nice, respectable 78 construction. Alright, mobile armor is unlocked. So, first things first, let's get our automotive industry in Lazio producing tanks. Which makes them think they're unprofitable, but... Hold on. Now... we upgrade all our infantry to mechanized infantry. And now, suddenly, they'll be profitable again. Oh! Oh, interesting. If they produce airplanes and tanks, they don't produce cars. Okay, cool. So, no airplane production. And then we'll grab one of our other automotive industries to produce airplanes. Alright, alright. You live and you learn. Where are we? Here we are. Let's grab a smaller one. We don't have that many. Let's have the ones in Abruzzo produce airplanes. That makes them less profitable. But the one in Lazio should be growing in profitability over time. Number one, since it's producing cars now, but also because it's producing tanks, and there should be high armor demand in our market. Really? Mostly being shipped overseas, huh? That's interesting. That's quite curious. I don't really know what to make of that. Well, we'll remove the tariffs. Alright. But all the demand hasn't built up yet, because we're still upgrading. So let's wait a few more weeks, and then we'll have a better sense of it. Delicious water. Now, we still need to upgrade our siege artillery and our lancers. So let's start by just straight disbanding our traditional cavalry. We don't need them. So, for First Corps, just add in one more conscript unit. Oh, that's right. We got a new conscription tech, so all of our conscription is larger possibility than before. I'm going to cut all of our conscript traditional cavalry. and old-style artillery. Because I don't need that either. And now, let's start getting armored cavalry and artillery. So for heavy tanks, I'm going to go with... So heavy tanks have 70 attack, 35 defense. Light tanks have 45 attack, 45 defense, but 30% extra battle occupation. So I'm going to go with, I think, 70 and 20. So heavy tanks, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And then for light tanks, 10, 20. That's the main, that's the largest army. For our second largest army, we're at 70. I'm gonna go 50. I'm gonna go 50, 20. That's how I'm gonna do. 5, 10, or 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 20, 30. Or 10, 20. For this army, we're at 40. We'll do 20 and 10. 10, 20, and 10. And then for our final army, we're doing 10 and 15, 10 and 5. 10 and 5. Now, I'm going to put the power block statues at the bottom of the queue. I'm going to leave the munitions plants where they are. This is going to lead to a somewhat curious distribution of forces. Hey! Law of progressive voting. Wonderful. And skyscraper construction is completed. Touching the sky. Construction of the Rome skyscraper in Lazio is complete. The first building of its type in the world, it dominates the skyline. It inspires all who gaze upon it. My skyscraper would not have been possible without the hard work and grit of the thousands of people who dedicated themselves to its construction. Of course, as chief architect, I had, perhaps, more impact than most. One might even say that the lion's share of the credit is mine. In fact, this pinnacle of human achievement, this new Babel, was born entirely from the machinations of my mind. Look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair! Italian architecture is second to none. Architectural pioneering for 5 years. This is because we built the first skyscraper in the world. Gets us 50 prestige, in addition to touching the sky, which gets us 25. Heck yes. And we're going through a huge military expansion as well. Now, basically, once these heavy tanks are built, I'm going to close out all the siege artillery. Because I don't think there's really a point in keeping siege artillery around once you've got heavy tanks. I think heavy tanks are just basically better in all ways. Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, they cost more, obviously, is the disadvantage, but they're still better units. All right. And these ones are getting built, so let's close out. Ooh, electric arc process. That's fun. I think this be something. Let's close out all this here, siege artillery. Maybe I wasn't building as fast as I was thinking. Maybe I should have been more conscientious about that. But, you know, live and learn. Live, laugh, mobile, armor. That's what they say, right? Right. Now, do I set up conscripts now, or do I wait until there's a war? I think I wait. This is going to be a large shift in our cash flow. It's undoubtedly going to cost us more, but it's also going to give us a huge pile of prestige because power projection from mobile armies is absolutely bananas, and it also lets you win wars without taking nearly as many casualties, which is hugely important in this build of the game on account of I'm a huge world power. It would be less than 25 infamy to annex the entire Ottoman Empire. My nerds, I can't even tell you how strong the temptation is. Still insufficient construction for the investment pool. Wow, that investment pool is going up in size fast. But let's focus on our armies for the time being. Heavy tank barracks are continuing to hire. Light tank barracks are hiring now. Someone's got the end of spring again. And supporting the Austrian workers. We will support the workers in Austria, boosting the power of their trade unions. Maybe we believe in the international cause of the working man, maybe we don't. In the end, it does not matter. What matters is that the Austrian trade unions get stronger. An excellent idea, stronger trade unions, or this would be ill-advised, weaker trade unions. I'm going to say an excellent idea. We're doing big social democracy now. I just want to educate the children. Just want to keep my tech growing. I'm slowly growing my GDP by increasing the number of barracks. Opposition members put forth demands. More pragmatically inclined members of the industrialists, currently opposed to the passing of compulsory primary schools, have offered to change their stance for there to be offered certain political concessions. Such concessions would not be happy with the trade unions, however. Compromise makes a good umbrella but a poor roof. It is a temporary expedient, often wise in party politics, almost sure to be unwise in statesmanship. Acquiesce to their demands, the bill must pass, salty trade unions, 10% extra enactment chance, or a compromise is a tool of the weak, reduce enactment success chance, reduce enactment time. Happier trade unions. I'm actually going to do the second one. The decrease in the amount of enactment time is kind of minuscule, and or at 48% chance, and getting this done faster, I think is more likely now that we're at the final stage. Gifts among friends. An internal investigation has discovered that a government official received many gifts from Luca de Marchi on behalf of the Anti-Austrian League. Luca de Marchi is an ethno-nationalist associated with the Catholic Church. The official leading the investigation details his findings. Does de Marchi have no integrity? Among the gifts sent, the following was found: a half a dozen parcels of cloth, a carving knife, a pocket knife, 5 pairs of gloves, 23 barrels of salt, and a dozen bottles of Italy's finest colonial water. Is this not bribery in support of the Anti-Austrian League's cause? The Anti-Austrian League has done nothing suspect, 5% more loyal Catholic Church members, which is a significant number, or perhaps the leader should step down, extra legitimacy. De Marchi resigns. That's interesting. I think I gotta go with the second one. Give me that legitimacy. Okay, this new guy is Goffalo Tologna. He is a moderate. Cool. Now, are we starting to build up heavy tanks in another army? Looks like we are. Let's close out our siege artillery. Beautiful. What about our third army? Not yet. Nice. Torrential rains in Abruzzo. Well, these things happen. And obviously you can see the cost, but we've got a substantial gold reserve at this time. And plus this will let us throw our weight around a little bit. Occitania, why are you antagonistic? More importantly, why can't I turn you into a protectorate? Because they're a major. Well, that's sad. Maybe I should take Provence and Rhône. That would be fun. I deserve it. I've been very good the whole game. I've hardly ever been waging wars of aggression against recognized powers. Alright, so third army still waiting on the tanks. I think second army we're in the midst of working on the light tanks. Yeah, that's what these are. So we're very much getting there. That having been said, we're actually over time for this episode, so I've got to cut it here. My nerds, I've had a good time. I hope you have as well, and I will see you all on the other side.